Okay, for people who haven't heard of us, we are an EVM identical L1, which is built on the Cosmos SDK, which we basically reiterated it and we called it Beacon Kit. We built it ourselves. The unique feature about Berachain is that we have the new consensus methodology, which is called proof of liquidity. Rather than the slides, let's have a conversation. So proof of liquidity, a lot of people have asked me what is the best way to actually understand proof of liquidity? Because it's kind of complicated when you take it from a documentation perspective. But a lot of you guys have used new applications and there are always incentives provided for new applications when you sign up, right? It can be like PhonePe, Paytm, whenever they started off, even Google Pay for that matter of fact, would give you certain rewards for signing up and start using their applications. So what we've done is created an ecosystem and also a consensus methodology, which actually goes into the core of this. And it is primarily driven by what we call as incentive alignment between the key stakeholders of an ecosystem. In a blockchain, who do you think are the three main stakeholders of a blockchain? Any guesses? Okay. What about users? If you just agree, just lift your hand up. Do you think users are one of the key stakeholders of an ecosystem? Good. Validators? Great. Then new applications coming in? So what do you think is the major problem for an application when you're building, right? If you're building a DeFi application, you need more TVL, more users to come in. But the problem is always bootstrapping that 0 to 1 problem that every single person is trying to solve. At Berachain, what we've done is that we've made it easier for applications to primarily solve this. The incentive alignment is actually between the three major key stakeholders of an ecosystem, that is users, new applications, and validators. Until now, validators would be doing a very passive job. What I mean by that is they used to do one thing, that is validate transactions on a block. But what we've created is that validators now do something more as well. Rather than keeping the block reward for themselves, they actually start emitting that block reward over to the applications in the ecosystem. And in return, the applications provide certain incentives to do that. The easiest way I can start explaining this is by an example. How many of you guys have actually, you guys all know about Ladies' Night, right? When a new club opens up. If you think about it, Ladies' Night is kind of an incentive for new people to actually start discovering a club and also to start garnering more attention as well. So think about it this way. When a new club opens up, they start offering free drinks for a particular set of users to start actually coming in. That brings in a lot of more other users to come in as well. All of this incentive is actually provided from their own balance sheet, that is the stock they actually hold. Now, proof of liquidity is very similar. The application will actually go ahead and reach out to a validator and say that, hey, I would really like the Bera governance token to be emitted on us so that we start garnering more liquidity and more attention, therefore garnering a lot more users to start using the application. And this kind of incentive alignment drives what we call as the Bera POL flywheel. That is, when you provide rewards on the application, more people come in, usage starts happening, that drives more attention, more users, more liquidity, and more user action. In a more larger perspective, the other way to look at this is that any kind of user action that can be incentivized by the application for any kind of action which the application wants. For example, in a game, you want the user to go through a specific kind of user journey so that it is beneficial for the application. In a DeFi application, it can be that you need more TVL, more liquidity to come in. In a SocialFi application, it can be that you want to actually start rewarding content creators who actually create more viral content. All of this can be done without the intervention of the foundation or the chain people itself. It can all be done in a technological manner. The idea has always been at the very core that most of these things needs to be permissionless, and most of these things should be actually beneficial to the larger ecosystem rather than being parasitic. Because of that, we came out with proof of liquidity, and that is where like you can start actually start exploring our testnet as well. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So what I would suggest to folks is to actually Google us. We're at berachain.com. Start using our testnet. We have 3 tokens, which are primarily Honey, Bera governance token, and Bera, which is a native gas token. Our governance token can only be earned by providing liquidity or doing any kind of user action which is beneficial for applications. And Honey is our native stablecoin, and Bera is our native gas token. So what I would suggest you folks is to go ahead, Google Berachain. Please check us out. And at any point in time, if folks want to reach out to me, I'm available on Twitter at vish.eth. My Telegram is dustyvish. So you can actually reach out to me and we can start having that conversation. So thank you folks for actually being so patient.